Hello friends, today we are going to discuss a very important topic of liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis stands out to be a chronic disease of liver. This chronic disease is developed due to variable causes. Liver cirrhosis is one of the important diseases that occurs due to alcoholism, which stands out to be the major cause, and we will also see the other causes which causes liver cirrhosis. Liver, as we all know, it is made up of many parts. We have gone through the anatomy and physiology part, where we have seen that what is the shape, what is the size, what all lobules and parts do it have, what is the circulation, and how the microscopic structure of liver is formed. This is how a normal liver appears. This is the appearance of a normal liver, and as we progress further in the pathogenesis of cirrhotic liver, we will see macroscopically what all changes do appear, and also the microscopic changes we will be looking into. As you all know, liver is an important organ to our body and it performs variable functions. In the lecture that we discussed about the liver function test, we came to know that there are more than 500 biochemical reactions that occur in the body, and these are the important categories under which the liver functions. As you can see, that is metabolism, secretory, excretion, synthesis, storage and detoxification, out of which none of them can be ruled out to be less important. All the functions are important, like in the category of storage, carbohydrates like glycogen is stored, detoxification of various toxins present in body, also the excretion of bilirubin, which is an excretory product of RBC grade 1. Now we will come to the topic of liver cirrhosis. How do we define or what is liver cirrhosis? The introduction of the word cirrhosis finds its origin from the Greek word kryos, meaning twanny, the orange yellow color of the diseased liver. So the name comes from a Greek word. While it was known to the humankind for a very long period of time, it was not until the Rene, who gave the name cirrhosis in 1819. This work was published and this name was given, that is cirrhosis of liver. Now how do we define liver cirrhosis? Cirrhosis is actually a consequence of a disease process in which there is a repeated injury. That injury is followed by formation of fibrous scar tissue, and this fibrous scar tissue later on would be regenerated or it will remain as such, and this is a cyclical process. As you can read here, it is a consequence of chronic liver disease or a chronic liver injury characterized by replacement of liver tissue by fibrous scar tissue as well as regenerative nodules. These regenerative nodules will regenerate the damaged liver tissue, and in this way the liver function would be affected. How do you define it? Cirrhosis of liver is a chronic progressive disease characterized by widespread fibrosis, scarring and nodule formation. Cirrhosis occurs when the normal flow of blood bile and hepatic metabolites is altered by fibrosis. So what is actually happening is, the consequence of the disease is that the function of liver is altered. So normal function, you will not find the normal function of liver, and yes, you can state that the liver function test would be altered here. And why is this happening? Because there is a formation of fibrous tissue in the liver, and why this fibrous tissue is formed? Because of the repeated injury that is occurring to the liver. So this is how we define liver cirrhosis. This is how a cirrhotic liver will look like. We have seen in the previous slide where how the normal liver was looking. This is how the cirrhotic liver looks like. Now coming to the types. What types of cirrhotic liver can we find? So we have categorized them in various parts. Like the first type is alcoholic cirrhosis. The most common cause of liver cirrhosis is alcoholism. 60 to 70% of cases of liver cirrhosis occur due to alcoholism. Most common due to the chronic alcoholism. Scar tissue characteristically surrounds the portal area. Now this classification will tell you that where exactly the fibrotic process is going on. So mainly here you can see that the portal area, that is the portal circulation of hepatic or the liver is affected. So alcoholic cirrhosis. Second is post-necrotic cirrhosis. There are broad bands of scar tissue due to late result of acute viral hepatitis, post-intoxication with industrial chemical. So you can see there is a post-necrotic cirrhosis. There is a broad band of scar tissue which is formed due to acute, either due to acute viral hepatitis or due to some industrial chemical. Then you have biliary cirrhosis, as the name suggests. It will be obviously affecting the biliary duct and the draining system of liver. So scarring occurs around the bile duct in the liver, results from chronic biliary obstruction and infection. Whereas you can have cardiac cirrhosis also associated with severe right-sided long-term heart failure. It is very rare. So this cardiac cirrhosis is actually a result of portal hypertension. This portal hypertension will eventually lead into right-sided heart failure, which occurs very rarely because prior to that, due to the liver cirrhosis, the patient won't survive till the time the patient develops a heart failure. Now coming to the pathogenesis, that how actually is this disease formed. I have said it earlier that there is a repeated injury which is occurring to the liver. So the primary event, the first event in formation of liver cirrhosis is the injury to hepatocellular elements of liver. The injury can come from any source. It can be due to a metabolite or something that you have ingested. Either it can be due to a drug. It can also be due to any infectious agent, like we have discussed the viral hepatitis. It initiates this injury. It initiates an inflammatory response with cytokines, and these cytokines will result into toxic substances. Destruction of hepatocytes, bile duct cells, and vascular endothelial cells will occur. Now, whenever there is an injury followed by inflammation, this is mandatory that it will be followed by a healing process. So, repair through cellular proliferation and regeneration will occur. But during this process of healing and regeneration, there will be also formation of fibrous scar, and continuous development of this fibrous scar will lead into liver cirrhosis. This is how an alcoholic liver will look like. So we can have different morphological features for different type of liver cirrhosis. As we have seen a PEC earlier, that PEC was related to a liver cirrhosis due to different origin. That was a nodular type of liver cirrhosis. This is a alcoholic fatty liver or an alcoholic liver cirrhosis. Now coming to the etiology. As we have discussed earlier, that etiology of or the causes of liver cirrhosis, and one of the major causes alcoholic liver disease. It can, we know that cirrhosis can develop due to various factors, and mostly the factors depend on the type of food that you are eating, or the alcohol, or the type of drug you are taking, or if you are exposed to any infectious disease or not. So we have categorized them. So first is alcoholic liver disease. Alcoholic cirrhosis develops in 15% of individuals who drink heavily for more than a decade. So we have decided a time limit also for it, and at least it would require a time of 10 years to develop. But nevertheless, it can be variable according to the immunity of the person, tolerance limit of the person. It's not necessary that it will at least take 10 years, but if the person is consuming high amount of liquor daily, so it can come in a shorter span of time. There is a great variability in the amount of alcohol needed to cause cirrhosis. As little as 3 to 4 drinks a day in some men and 2 to 3 in some women. Alcohol seems to injure the liver by blocking the normal metabolism of protein, fat and carbohydrate. So alcoholic liver disease is the most 60 to 70% of cases of liver cirrhosis are due to consumption of alcohol. Then comes chronic hepatitis C. Infection with this virus, that is hepatitis C virus, causes inflammation and a low-grade damage to the liver that over several decades can lead to cirrhosis. So this chronic hepatitis C infection, you can understand, it's not a one-time infection, but it would be repeated over and over again for development of cirrhosis. Then comes chronic hepatitis B infection. The hepatitis B virus is probably the most common cause of cirrhosis worldwide, especially Southeast Asia, but it is less common in the United States and Western world. So obviously we come in this category of Southeast Asia. Hepatitis B causes liver inflammation and injury that over several decades can lead to cirrhosis. Hepatitis B is dependent on presence of hepatitis B, but accelerates cirrhosis in co-infection. So this is a very important point that you can have. That is, if a person is suffering from hepatitis B, then you can also have a test run for hepatitis B. If they are present together, then the process of cirrhosis will accelerate. Next is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, that is also known as NASH. In NASH, fat builds up in the liver and eventually causes scar tissue. This type of hepatitis appears to be associated with diabetes, protein malnutrition, obesity, coronary artery disease, and treatment with corticosteroid medication. This disorder is similar to that of alcoholic liver disease, but the patient does not have any alcoholic history. So, what we understand from this is that in the earlier case where the alcohol was the reason, here alcohol consumption is not the reason, rather than a mal metabolism or bad metabolism of fat is the reason for development of this type of liver cirrhosis, where you can find the causes to be like diabetes, protein malnutrition, obesity, coronary artery disease, and also corticosteroid metabolism medication. Next is primary biliary cirrhosis, may be asymptomatic or complain of fatigue, pruritus. Pruritus is generalized body itching and non-jaundice skin hyperpigmentation with hepatomegaly. Hyperpigmentation is the amount of pigment on the skin will increase. Hepatomegaly is increase in the size of liver. There is a prominent alkaline phosphatase elevation. This alkaline phosphatase you can remember from the liver function test, as well as elevation in the cholesterol and bilirubin. So this is the fifth type of fifth cause, that is primary biliary cirrhosis. It can be asymptomatic, but it can present with pruritus and hyperpigmentation, and also you can have tests done for alkaline phosphatase, which would be in an elevated quantity. Next cause is primary sclerosing cholangitis, PCS, primary PSC, that is primary sclerosing cholangitis. It is a progressive cholestatic disorder presenting with pruritus, steatoria, fat soluble vitamin deficiencies, and metabolic bone disease. There is a strong association with inflammatory bowel disease. So IBD can be a underlying cause for development of this type of cirrhosis. Autoimmune hepatitis, this disease is caused by an autoimmunological or an immunological damage to the liver caused by our own immune system, causing inflammation and eventually scarring and cirrhosis. And last comes the hereditary hemochromatosis. Hereditary hemochromatosis is accumulation of iron in your body, and that is a genetic disorder usually present with family history of cirrhosis. Skin hyperpigmentation, diabetes mellitus, pseudo-gout or in cardiomyopathy, all due to sign of iron overload. So there is an overload of iron which can lead into formation of liver cirrhosis. Next cause is the Wilson's disease. Wilson's disease is associated with accumulation of copper. Next cause is alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. This is also a genetic disorder. It is a recessive disorder where a person may have COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, especially if they have a history of tobacco smoking. Serum ATP levels are very low. And next is the cardiac cirrhosis due to chronic right-sided heart failure, which leads to liver congestion. Okay, thank you. We will continue the signs and symptoms in the next lecture.